Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's Kiki, my conspiracy theories happen like at this point over freaking night. If you guys were with me yesterday when we did the recap of Real Housewives of New York, if you haven't watched the recap, watch it after this live. But I predicted in that recap that Bravo was a dying network, that stuff was going on, that the Housewives ratings were slipping, that stuff was going on behind the scenes. And I said, Bravo is a dying network. And lo and behold, less than 24 hours later, it's being exposed in TMZ, in the Wrap, that Bravo and NBC are being sued by the reality stars for sexual exploitation, misconduct, all of it. We're going to get into it, guys. We're going to get into it. But I called it. Might be the beginning of the end. All right. But let's get into it. So, first up, this is according to the Wrap. Okay. It says NBC Bravo accused of grotesque and depraved mistreatment as reality stars prepare the lawsuit. The day of reckoning has arrived. A letter from attorneys Brian Friedman and Mark Gargarios says. Now, I also have clips of what Bethenny Frankel said as well. She was saying, the reality stars should start their own union. Reality stars need to strike. So I have a couple of clips of Bethenny breaking it down as well. And so for my Patreon community, we're going to have the clips, we're going to have this recap. But for the Patreon, which is linked down below, I'm going to include the actual legal document that was sent to NBC for litigation. It's about an 11-page legal document that breaks everything down. This is where TMZ got their information from. I have the document, so I'm gonna post that to the Patreon. Okay, but here we go. So it says NBCUniversal and its subsidiaries Bravo Media, E, and CNBC stand accused of a pattern of practice of grotesque and depraved mistreatment against the talent and crews of their numerous hit reality series, according to a letter sent Thursday to the media conglomerate's legal team. Don't forget, I have the PDF of the entire demand letter that will be on the Patreon. I want to know, reality stars, can us content creators join in on this lawsuit? Because I really believe it was the people at NBC and Bravo that demonetized my channel. So I want in on this lawsuit against them. They came after my money, and I know they did, because there's just a lot going on, you guys. So I want to join in on the lawsuit. Can we join? Anyway, let's keep going. These individuals have been mentally, physically, and financially victimized by NBC and threatened with ruin should they decide to speak out about their mistreatment. I'm telling you that they came after my channel. As a result, the sordid and dark underbelly of NBC's widely consumed reality TV universe has remained under wraps for far too long, the letter read. Please be advised that the day of reckoning has arrived. Again, can I please join this lawsuit? The letter sent to NBC Universal's general counsel, Kimberly Harris, from attorneys Brian Friedman and Mark Gargarios, warned the company to hold on to any relevant records, quote, until further notice, as potential legal action looms. So basically what they're saying is, don't destroy documents because we're about to subpoena you. And if they destroy documents, now that they have this demand letter, that is, I don't know if it's fraud, but I know that that is illegal. It's destroying evidence. So basically they're saying, if you don't come clean, we were going to sue you. So you are now put on notice legally. This is called a demand letter. And so from this point on, if people at NBC, at Bravo, try to destroy emails, text messages, video footages, memos, then that's illegal because they're trying to cover up and destroy evidence, because now they've been put on notice that a lawsuit could be coming, okay? So if the courts subpoena their records, if there's a record that they destroyed evidence, this is what they're saying. Representatives from NBC, Universal, and Bravo did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So it is going down. It's serious. And it kind of vindicates, I'm not going to say all content creators, but I'm going to speak for myself. I feel vindicated now that I wasn't being paranoid, or I wasn't being, crazy thinking that NBC and Bravo came from my channel. Because now even the reality stars themselves are suing them for financial mistreatment and physical and sexual. A couple of things that the lawsuits, or that the demand letter, which is basically what they send prior to submitting an official lawsuit if they can't come to some type of agreement. They said, quote, deliberate attempts to manufacture mental instability by plying cast members with alcohol while depriving them of food and sleep. Denying mental health treatment to cast members displaying obvious and alarming signs of mental deterioration, exploiting minors for uncompensated and sometimes long-term appearances at NBC reality TV shows, distributing and or condoning the distribution of non-consensual P words, pornography, covering up acts of sexual violence, refusing to allow cast members the freedom to leave their shows even under dire circumstances. So I'm telling you right now, it's so true. And I'm going to tell you guys what I think is going on with I'm just going to speak for my channel. I'm not going to speak for anybody else's channel. This is what I think YouTube is doing on a whole scale. They use this sort of blanket term, quote, reused content, as a way to demonetize anybody channels that they want to, that they want to. And then they ask you to submit, and if they've done this to multiple channels. You can Google it. There are starting to be class actions, and there's starting to be lawsuits against YouTube for doing this. And then they ask you to send them video footage of how you get your content, how you create your videos, and where you get your ideas from. This, you might not think so, but this is actually valuable, invaluable, actually, information. This is your intellectual property. This is research and development, right? And then they will take that and they will use it to either, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying this is fact. I'm saying this is an opinion, okay? Because I don't want them to sue me. So this is my opinion. Speculation, allegation. They then take that information and they either sell it to big corporations like NBCs and studios that are competitive with these content creators, or they use it as a part of their own research and development to improve their own platform and stuff, but they're not compensating us for it. Do you see what I'm saying? And they've done this to millions of accounts. All you have to do is Google it and it'll come up. Google YouTube demonetization class action lawsuits, YouTube demonetization reused content. They've done this to millions of accounts. But the big thing that these accounts have in common is that they are reporting on things that big networks compete with. So a lot of like true crime channels they've been done this too, because there's like the ID channel, there's like, Dateline, and there's all these other, like, there's so many different, true crime networks that compete, that people are watching the content creators more than they're watching the networks. So same thing with reality TV. You get all these reality TV content creators getting demonetized and getting all this, asking us to show us where we get our information from. It's usually the channels that are in reporting on or in competition to some type of network TV show, big studio. And I think that's what's going on. They're taking our creativity, our ideas, our resources, and they're using it for research and development. And then they're selling it to these other big corporations for money. That's what I think is going on here. Because at first I thought it was like, oh my gosh, it's Bravo doing this. But then when I researched it, I was like, no, this is like a way bigger problem. This is big. And this isn't me saying this. YouTube, all you have to do is Google this stuff and it all comes up. It all comes up. There are so many people talking about this. There's so many channels, literally millions that did this. So, and on top of it, YouTube will demonetize you and say, we're not going to pay you for your content. You can't do ads, but then they will run ads on your content. So YouTube is still making money on all of these channels they demonetized. The only difference is they stopped sharing the money with the content creator. So you're going to tell me that my channel isn't worthy of being monetized, but yet you're making money off of my channel. Like, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And it's usually the channels that are going up against networks and things like that. I personally think YouTube and these networks are in cahoots together, using the content creators, ideas, resources, creativity, intellectual property, all of that stuff. And then they're still exploiting us. So what they do is they take away the money, and then we get all frazzled. Oh my God, I'm demonetized. What do I need to get monetized? And then the moment you send them how you get all your stuff, it's so cool. You can be monetized again now. It's a scam. It's all a fraud. It's all a scam. It's all a scheme. And I feel so vindicated. So vindicated. It's crazy. All you have to do is Google this stuff and it's all there. Class actions, everything. Reddit feeds, Quora feeds, other content creators. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, and I said it yesterday. I said, Bravo's a dying network. And literally today, they're slapped with all this stuff. But let's see what Bethenny Frankel had to say about it too, okay? Because she talks about it too.
On Andy Cohen. So we came up together. He was a network executive, became a reunion host and a talk show host, and I had my own trajectory on a parallel path, working my way through the entertainment industry from a different side. We've shared many beach walks and secrets, and I was the highest paid housewife of all time. I rated, and I am in a position to discuss a possible union and fair and equal treatment for all reality talent, because I'm not disgruntled. I don't have my own agenda for myself, something I'm asking for. This is not a lawsuit, and this does not have anything to do with just one person or one network. I've always understood that Bravo's Andy's first priority and the housewives. That's the realm that he protects. Those are the secrets that he keeps. The first time I ever heard him say something not directly to me, but in public, was about rewives, when he said negative things about rewives. And then I went on his show and felt ambushed, but that's the name of the game there. There are going to be polls and discussions, and they're designed to kind of make people look bad, produced questions. But that's how you go, promote your products there. You got to take a couple of hits. And I have had opinions on the franchise in particular, and reality TV and in particular, but I haven't felt comfortable really totally expressing that, because I didn't want to say anything untoward about Andy or about the housewives, the place that I came from. But I've grown increasingly uncomfortable with certain things. I've been put in situations where I've felt that it wasn't safe. I recently found out that I crashed a funeral, and that was very jarring, because it's felt like there is exploitation without compensation for many people. I've now, in the past couple of days, heard stories about people whose spouses have lost jobs, and people who have been threatened with contracts that they cannot use their own business and work on their own projects afterwards, because the network has to own them. And then, yes, of course, there's the Bethenny clause, and all of these different things that I'm thinking about that aren't equal and fair, and reality talent isn't compensated properly by and large. And I've run this by lawyers and people that work with unions and heads of the entertainment industry, and asked point blank, do you think I'm right? And they have all said yes. So I know that I'm right. And there are over 100 people that have also told me that I'm right who work in this industry. Many of them are scared and threatened and have gag orders, and contracts are being used as weapons. But I want an answer because I deserve an answer. We deserve an answer, and we're going to get the answer we deserve.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree with Bethenny on all of that. I'm going to take your candy cane questions and comments, and then I have another interview with Bethenny speaking on the strike and everything else, okay? Shout out to Amy. She says, hey, Candy, didn't know you're dropping in today. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Whoa, this is huge news. My gut believes it because I have heard rumors of this before. Not feeding cats while giving them alcohol and encouragement to keep drinking to excess. Yes. And another tactic that they do is they will give them a call time, like, oh, be here at 6 o'clock. There'll be no food, but they'll be like, you want some drinks? You want some drinks? And then they will say, oh, we're delayed. So they wait until the cast have not eaten and have drinking all of these cocktails and all of that stuff. And then they'll be like, oh, now we can start shooting at like 9 o'clock. So they set them up to get wasted and drunk before they start filming. Natalie says, hi. Thank you, Natalie. And thank you so much for the Cash App, Natalie. I just saw it go through. I really appreciate you and your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Because I don't understand YouTube, but they let people hide behind avatars to start trouble. I feel that's dangerous. Exactly. Amy said season 4 Corinne from Bachelor in Paradise had an issue with this. Yep. Queen says, I've been listening to other channels saying the same thing. They were thinking they were singled out. So I'm glad you're speaking on this. Yes, I had the same feeling. I was like, what is going on? Like, why is this happening? But the more I dug and the more I did research, I was like, wait a minute. This is a huge scam. This is a huge scam that they're doing. Huge. We're going to take away your demonetization, but we're still going to make money on the content. Until you tell us all of your intellectual property, all of your creative ideas, all how you get your stuff, until you show us exactly how you get everything done, we're not going to pay you for the work that you do, but we're still going to get paid for it. That's a huge scam. That's a huge scam. Amy said, not just a Bravo issue, other reality shows do this. Exactly. Queen says, but I've been hearing spiritual podcasts, but they are doing this too. Yup. Queen says, it's not just Bravo, it's a YouTube as a whole. Exactly. Joe says, hi, Candy. This seemed like a huge shock, but thinking about it, it makes a lot of sense. The huge cocktails while filming Beverly Hills. If they're manipulating big stars, I can't imagine how they treat nobodies. Exactly. But I'm not a nobody. I hope that wasn't to me. I'm a somebody. Amy said, thank you for raising awareness about the YouTube property rights issues. I had no idea before you spoke about it. Exactly. Sierra says, so happy you're monetized again, Queen. No, I'm not. I'm not monetized again. That's the whole thing. And this is another thing. Usually they take it away for 30 days. They're taking mine away for 90 days. And I'm still trying to fight it. But honestly, I think I'm gonna end up just migrating away from YouTube altogether because it's too much of a scam. It's too much of a scam. Amy says, why isn't it still considered your intellectual property? I'm just a teacher, not a lawyer, but I can read fine print. I would love for you to have a lawyer as a guest to help explain. This is the thing. It is considered my intellectual property, but they don't care. Like, you know what I mean? It's like trying to get fair treatment from someone who doesn't care. They don't care. It is our intellectual property, but they just don't care. Joe says, reason covering up SV, Sheena on Vanderpump Rules had 2 moments, waking up, forgot his name with a BJ, and the music video with Brett. She got aggressive when he said he felt uncomfortable. Oop. Hey, Tay says, justice for Candy. Exactly. Natalia says, Andy been exposed for years. I don't understand how people still rock with him. Never a fan. I agree. Amy says, what, 90 days? Yes. I'm telling you, it is like insane. It's really insane. Like even in their own guidelines, 30 days is the standard for demonetization before you can reapply. They're saying I have to wait 90 days. That's 3 months. Why? Is it because I'm talking about it? Is it because I refuse to show them my intellectual property? YouTube is dirty. It's dirty. It's corrupt and it's dirty. At first, I thought it was Bravo, NBC, but it's YouTube.
I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
No, but it's a whole. I'm telling you, it's a huge, huge scam. It's a big, huge scam, and it's a big fraud. And they're basically stealing from us content creators. They're stealing our money because they're taking all of the ad revenue, even though they're saying that our content can't be monetized, but they're monetizing it. And B, I do think they're selling it to these studios and networks and big corporations that they're in cahoots with. That's why they target certain people and certain things, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, now let's watch the clip from Bethenny. Amy says, now I understand why you want to change platforms. Yeah, I think I'm just going to migrate completely to other platforms because this is beyond dirty, like beyond dirty. And I'm not making it up. I have all of the proof. I have screenshots. I have emails. I have everything. And also just Google it and you will see all of these other content creators talking about it. You will see class action lawsuits. You will see complaints. You will see other people break it down. But yeah, because they think that because they control our monetization, that they can force us to do anything. Like, well, we're not going to monetize you until you do this, this, and this, and this, and this for us. But we're still going to make money off of you. It's exploitation. Like, I'm serious. I want to join this lawsuit against them. Like, if they came to me, I would join the lawsuit. Reality stars, let me know. All right, let's watch the Bethenny clip. And yeah, then we'll.
Bethenny, why should reality stars join the striking SAG union workers and the WGA writers?
I think that we should have our own union and terms that networks and streamers should abide by. There are different issues. It's a different medium and some issues overlap, but there are different circumstances. We also are not really respected by the mainstream entertainment community.
So what do unscripted performers need?
Unscripted performers need specific language and terms in contracts that protects them versus exploits them. So I am fine. This has nothing to do with me per se, meaning I'm very successful. I have played the fame game and won, and it's not about me. It's about what if it was me? What if all those years ago, 15 years ago, I was paid $7,250 and my episodes were still airing today and I had never made another dollar since? Take that to the next level. What if I said something that I'm still regretting because it will live to the end of time and still being exploited? So when my divorce was at its worst, episodes were being pumped more than ever. Was I making more money? No. When Nene Leakes' husband died, or Jill Zarin's husband died, those episodes were being pumped more than ever. Do they make more money? No.
Explain the Bethenny clause and what that means and how you applied it to your business, because you made allegedly $100 million on your deal, and people would say, well, you benefited from Bravo.
I was smart and I was playing chess, not checkers, and I always was looking at what was coming behind my back, and I still am. The only reason that Bravo allowed me to take out the part of my contract saying that they couldn't take anything of what I would make is because I was in the beginning and they didn't think I would make anything, and it was a new medium. So lo and behold, I was successful. They didn't make that money, and the reason that the Bethenny clause was implemented was because they were furious and aggravated that they hadn't taken a piece of that. So they vowed never to let that happen again, as did all networks. The Kardashians are building their own brand. They're producing commercials for themselves where they're protected and they cannot look terribly bad. They will look bad enough to create content with a Dolce & Gabbana argument between two sisters, but they will never look bad enough so they could get canceled because they control the show. They control the intellectual property. The 180 housewives do not control the intellectual property that they have been building.
What other reality stars have reached out to you and want to help form this union or feel that they have been wronged by the industry?
I got a message from Hannah Berner, Caitlin Bristow, Chrissy Teigen, JWoww, people from Love is Blind, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Below Deck, Vanderpump Rules, Summer House, Paige DeSorbo, Spencer Pratt. These are people that are messaging me back. They're listening. They're interested, to say the least.
What do you hope comes out of this?
We're needed more than ever right now. We have more leverage than we've ever had right now because we are the losers that are going to be relied upon for non-union wages. Get those losers. We'll let them make fools of themselves and entertain us. So smart people will align. Smart people stop promoting unscripted projects right now. We'll stop shooting unscripted projects right now. It will require courage. But I will come up with 10 rules, terms that people should ask for. And I wrote them up this morning, and one person who's one of the top 10 most powerful people in Hollywood said to me, very well thought out.
I want to ask you about Vanderpump Rules. They really have benefited from this Scandival thing.
I don't know how it happened. It happened. We became really good friends. Like, I was seeking something that I wasn't getting here. And that's selfish. That's really selfish.
Selfish is the nicest word you could use.
They're back shooting again. They haven't come to contract with Raquel right now. What do you think about this situation?
She's not the first person in the world that's ever had an affair. Okay, you were wrong. You slept with someone's husband or boyfriend. It's happened. You work in a bar on a reality television show, the most toxic environment in history to nurture a relationship. That's a perfect example. I don't know what she's making. She's not making $30 million a year.
Yep.
She signed up for something that they entertain. They loved the drama. So she signed up to ruin her entire life for whatever paltry salary she got.
She's also been seeking mental health help following the season. Do you think someone who is struggling with their mental health should be going back into that environment to do this kind of show?
Absolutely not. The drug is too strong. The drug of the fame, the drug of the relevance, the drug of the money, the drug of always chasing the dragon and wanting to go back the next season and get that hit and show that you're really not the terrible person they all think. That's what producers tell talent. When you've been beaten down and everyone hates you, you got to go back next season. You can't end on this note. You got to go in and show them who you really are.
But Bethenny, how do you deter people from the drug of fame and TV? Because people will sign up on the dotted line no matter what.
I'm saying it's our responsibility, the people that have been successful at it, that have made money at it. I'm not looking for anything except for principle. People shouldn't be watching these shows right now. People shouldn't be shooting these shows. People shouldn't be promoting these shows. You want to go promote yourself on YouTube and yourself on Instagram? Go ahead. I'm saying we should be stopping down. So once and for all, we know what we're getting paid. We know when we see a residual what we're getting paid. We know when we see merchandise with a brand that we're building.
Will you lead this and help people unionize?
I've done hundreds of millions of dollars in relief work without knowing what I was doing, so I probably could do it. I can be the person mandating what's going on and understanding the decisions and meeting with important people. But right now, the most important thing that we haven't discussed is I want the networks and streamers to respond to what I've just said. I want to hear an answer.
Where is Andy Cohen's place in this discussion? And what level of responsibility does he have towards the housewives in that franchise that has become a billion-dollar franchise, but these women are not getting paid their worth?
Andy Cohen is very involved in negotiations, and he produces the shows, and he knows everything about what goes on inside entertainment. He's quite knowledgeable of what the television industry represents and what it means. And he's knowledgeable as a producer and as an observer and as a monetizer of this dynamic. His show is designed for gotcha moments to make people create headlines all over the media and then think about those for a week in exchange for them getting promotion for whatever they're doing. It's a quid pro quo. What Andy doesn't know with institutional knowledge is what it feels like to be a degraded member of reality television and a person that has experiences gotcha moments and is always the last one to know and is effectively treated like a well-paid famous handmaid.
Yep. So Bethenny basically broke it all down. Amy said, what, 90 days? Joe said, maybe they think 90 days can break most channels. I agree. I think they say, 30 in the fine print, but depending on the content creator, I think they thought that 90 days would break me. But this is the thing, whether or not they monetize me, I will still be standing. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about any type of religion. I'm just talking about my faith and God is my supply. Whether YouTube monetizes me or not, I will always be taken care of. But they are doing they're doing dirt. They're doing dirt. Yeah. Amy says, thank you for sharing this information, even with them doing this. Yes, this will go to court. Proud of your resilience and persistence to spread the truth. I admire you. Thank you so much. Sierra Content said 90 days, that's effed up. YouTube got too many corrupt people at the top. They try to make stuff hard for people who tell the truth. Exactly. Queen Hermit says, I don't care for Bethenny, but I admire her confidence. I agree. Amy says, I agree, Queen. Bethenny can be too much, but she's right in the situation. I agree. Also, she has the money and background to fight this fight. Very true. She has the money at this point and she has the background at this point. And she made also a good point that she's not asking for anything. It's not like her personal vendetta. She's exposing them on the larger issue, on the larger what's going on. So yeah, I wanted to hop on and just let you guys know what was going on, and just do your own research. Don't take my word for it. You can Google it. It is all out there. Class action lawsuits, complaints, other content creators breaking it down. There's a much bigger corruption going on at the top with YouTube and these networks and these other platforms, basically exploiting and stealing from content creators. And that's just that, in my opinion. So they can't sue me. In my opinion, that is what's going on here. It's absolutely crazy. But I'm going to be moving the majority of my content over to Patreon. And I'm going to upload this video. And I'm also going to upload, I have the entire, I think it's like an 11-page PDF. I have the entire legal document that the reality stars sent to NBCUniversal for their demand. So I'm going to add that to this on the Patreon for you guys. Darren Hood says, I'm on Bethenny's side with this. So am I. So am I. All right, you guys, enjoy your Friday. Everybody stay safe. Enjoy your life. Have fun. And I love you guys. Thank you again, Italia, for the Cash App. I really appreciate your support. And we'll be back, you guys. I'm still going to come on, whether I'm monetized or not. I'm still going to hold down my candy cane community because I love you guys. So have fun. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy yourself. And I love you. All right. Bye.